welcome back to Studioloo. So today I'm going to be making these kind of like specimen card type ephemera for my journal. I'm currently working on poison garden journals, so these ones are kind of plant themed. I'm just kind of holding it this way so you don't get a bunch of glare, but let me show you essentially what this is. So hopefully it's not too bad. So this is like a plastic, like an acetate. You can use any kind of like a clear plastic from packaging, or what I used is actually the pockets from an old photo album. I just cut the plastic apart for that. So what it is a journaling card. I've just cut a bunch of pieces of scrapbook paper and cardstock that I need to use up. And I personally use this large punch. It's not the best punch, to be honest. I got it used at like a thrift store. It's a Marvi Uchida punch, and it's a large one. So that is how I did the holes in these. And they're just pieces of cardstock that I need to use up, scrapbook paper, that kind of thing. I mostly am doing them this kind of shape, like a specimen card, but I've also done one like this that's like a little flippy card that you could, open either way to tuck into a pocket in a journal. I have all of these like little stray pieces of gold Angelina hanging around. And then I'll show you basically with this one. This is another idea. So this is almost like the shape of a card, right? So then you would just take your punch, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have centered the circle as best you can. And like I said, this punch is a little bit of a difficult one. It's not my best friend. Here we go. So there we go. This punch takes a little bit of muscle. Sorry about that. So there. So now we've got that hole there. Then you're left with these cool circles. We can do other things with those. And so even if you're making cards, that's an option there too. So I'm going to start making some of these. So what flowers and plants I used inside these, you could forage for them. I also put one of my little labels here that I made in a past mass making March, these labels video. I've actually been using these so much that I need to make more of them. I really love them. So I got these are flowers that have been treated with resin. They're from AliExpress. You can get a package of them very inexpensively, and they just have kind of a random mix of flowers and plants in them. I'd say, with anything like this, just be careful, they are plants from another place, and so don't put them outside, don't let them, propagate seed outside or anything like that, because you don't know what all these plants and flowers are. But yeah, they're lovely. They're pretty common. Most of them I know what they are, but just something to be wary about. So let's set prototype to the side and we will start working on this. So let me move my book page. The other thing I was going to say, so you can use clear acetate. I didn't even show you the back. So the back is another piece of cardstock and a torn piece of avocado paper. I didn't have to put that there. I felt kind of like I wanted something on the back that was a little easier to write on than this reddish colored cardstock. So I'll show the process to you, but this card is stitched around the edges on the sewing machine. If you didn't have a sewing machine, you could use glue to just glue the two pieces of paper together to trap in between. For the acetate, you will want to use Fabri-Tac or a 3-in-1, like a silicone-based glue, not a water-based glue, because this is acetate and you'll want to make sure that it's going to stick. So it's trapping between the two layers of plastic the flowers. The other thing to be wary about is try to keep your pieces of plastic clean. Don't get a bunch of glue on them, because anything you get on there, sorry, these little gold pieces, it's going to leave smudges and marks on your piece, and you don't really want that because it will make it look a little more messy. The other thing is, if your flowers break apart and that kind of thing, it doesn't matter because we actually stitch or glue right around this circle. So literally everything is trapped inside that little space there. So you can see my stitches are here and here. My sewing machine is being a little bit crazy because it ran out of thread. But yeah, anyways, let's just get started. So I think the next one that maybe let's make the card one. That'll be fun. The other thing is you could use paper on the back instead if you wanted to. You don't have to make it see-through with acetate. You could just literally back this with book page or a colored paper or a patterned paper or something like that, coffee dyed paper. All very easy options. So I think with this one, I'm probably going to, let me just grab my acetate here. So here's the other piece of my plastic. So this is what I'm using. Like I said, it's from a photo album. So the main thing is you just want to make sure when you're cutting that like you ensure that you've got the width of your circle. You want to have a little bit of extra too so that you can glue it down. You don't need a ton of length here though, so you don't have to like use up a whole piece. For me though, it's kind of like I can't get 2 circles out of one piece, so I don't really mind. Because this is a photo album, it's got 2 pieces of clear plastic and then 1 piece of white plastic in the middle. Will that come apart yet? Yeah. There we go. 1 and 2. So those are the usable pieces. And I might as well just cut this one too while I'm here because we'll be using these. Yeah. Another thing with this plastic is you don't want to kind of like rough handle it too much or crease it because it does leave like marks in the plastic when you get a little too rough. Okay, so now this will go on the back side of this and the front side, sort of. So you can decide how you would want to do it. If you would want to cover, if you want to put it on the front side and you'd want to cover your front, you could, but I want to leave the gold, so I'm going to put it on the back side here. Then what I do is I just take some Fabri-Tac glue. I have to refill this bottle. It's getting a little empty, so just do like I think we're clogged. Are we clogged? We might be clogged. Yeah, it looks like it. Hold on. We have a pin around here. There it is. It's got a fuzzy stuck to it. Oh, glue. Why? Why do you forsake me? Hold on. Hopefully that resolves it. Let's see. There, I think. Maybe. We're getting a little glue. Yeah, I need to really refill this bottle. Ugh. Okay, you know what? Give me a minute. Actually, I think I have some. Yeah, I've got some right here. I've got some other glue here. That is the same kind of glue, I think. So let's just open this one and we'll just set this one aside and I will resolve the issue with it later and refill it as well. Okay, just gotta open this, flip this little top here. Sorry about that. Glue always, it just always likes to not cooperate. Okay, we don't need to take the whole thing off. I usually don't anyways because that controls the flow of this glue a little bit. Okay, so let's try this one. Yeah, this one's going to come a little faster, so we'll just be careful. So just a little thin row of glue around here. Okay. And then Then you take your plastic piece and you just lay it on there. And don't even worry if like it's going to overrun your sides, because you can trim it after. So don't worry. The main thing is just don't get your glue on the front of your plastic. Like I think I did right there, a little tiny bit. Okay, it's fine though. I mean, it's very forgiving. You can wipe it off. Just, you know, try not to get a ton so it's really sticky, because then you'll have a problem. Okay. Then I just trim the excess off like this. Okay. Now we have to decide a couple things. So this one, unlike the other, it's going to have a backing, right? Oops, we have to just trim this side too a little bit, so it's not in the fold of the card. And so this isn't going to stay a card. I'm not going to glue paper. I'm going to actually use it this way. So it's going to have gold in the background as well. So because of that, it's not going to be adhesive on both sides like the prototype was. Because I want to show you something a little different too. I won't show you the exact same technique. So what I'm going to do, because it's lovely like the colors of patina, there's this beautiful blue flowers, and we'll lay them here. And yeah, they'd be really nice. Now, you don't need to use probably all of them. And you also don't need the big thick stem at the bottom. And you just want to kind of press, just with your finger, just press the join. That's the thickest part of the flower. So then you can just lay it down like that, get it to the spot that you want it to be in. And I'm completely happy with right there like that. It's great. Then below the line here, you're just going to use, like, you can use any kind of tape to do this. I'm just going to, off camera, I have this big, I'm actually going to use, don't laugh, duct tape. And the reason why is because it's very firm and it has like a heaviness to it and a plasticity, so that I can press it really good and close to the stem. Like you see, it's going to hold that. It's going to be firm. I can bounce it around, and also it's a really good secure tape. It's not going to move around at all. So then I'm good. I can put that down like that. We're not going to need to open that again. Now, you could do a few different things here if you wanted to. So you could actually leave this card open, and you could put a piece of paper. You could cut a circle out of a piece of paper here, and you could just back that so you have a nice backing still with your clear circle. And then you could put something like another piece, maybe a circle of a harder adhesive on top of this, then a piece of cardstock here with a pocket. You know, you could do all sorts of things, but I'm keeping it simple today. This is really what I want to do. I like the look of that a lot. So then I'm just going to take some glue stick here, because we're going to be stitching around this. So you're just going to go around on top of the tape, around the area like here. You're not going to go on top of your adhesive though, or in the background where your flowers are. You don't need to, and we don't need to do a whole lot of gluing because we're going to be stitching this. If you weren't stitching this, I would recommend using the Fabri-Tac or a similar adhesive around all the edges. There we go. So now we have this nice gold paper with these beautiful blue flowers in the background. So let me just move these out of the way for a minute, as well as this. And I'm sorry for the glare. I still haven't set up my new lighting system. Oh my gosh. I just have so much stuff to do right now. I'm slacking. I'm slacking. So I'm just going to do the stitching real quick here. I'm just going to use just a normal single stitch. we have finished the stitching around the edge. Now I just have to go around the circle. So you can see here the stitching around the edge is done. Now when you're going around the circle, I recommend if your machine has speeds, just go a little slower than normal, because you know you are steering around a circle. So just go as you feel confident that you're going to be able to move that paper in a circle without like getting a bunch of weird angles or running over your acetate or losing control of your machine and stitching through your finger or any of those fun variables. Let's not do that. And I'm not going like for perfection here, like I'm just, you know, trying to be reasonable. Okay. Let's move the machine back out of the way here. Okay, so then just trim all these threads away. And I've got a bright green thread in the bottom of my machine right now, so that might not be what you want to do. If you want your stitches to be like the same color, that's fine. So see, this is just kind of a fun, like, you know I had to stop a couple of times. I knew I was going to get a bit of variance, and I think that's totally okay. Like, that's kind of what I like about handmade things, is that they are handmade. So yeah, that is that. I'm actually just going to pause you and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because it's kind of hard to see the details. One moment. There we go. Now you're a little closer. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at what I have here. That's something I want, like a big label I can put down here. I know I have some really nice labels from the Paper Cameo. One moment. Let me see if I can find them quick. Okay, I found these labels, and these are actually misprints from Paper Cameo kit that I have, and she's on Etsy. Check her out. She's honestly amazing. These are some of her label pages. But I accidentally printed them the wrong size, and I didn't put them on cardstock. So these are just kind of my labels that I'm using up, but they're beautiful. Her stuff's awesome. So I'm going to choose this one, I think, because I think that would look really cute down here. So let me grab I'm just going to ink a little here. Ink around the edges of the label a little bit. I need to clean this glass mat. I was doing a ton of gluing today, and I've gotten in the bad habit of not using my glue book lately. Speaking of which, it's over here and it's buried under everything. So then we'll just glue stick this, because this is just regular paper, regular printer paper. Just kind of center that a little bit there. There we go. Sorry, I'm just going to glue this little piece on here. There. Okay. Then the back. So I think I will put something on the back, probably a piece of like coffee or avocado dyed paper, because I want, or even brown paper would be nice, but I want to cover up these stitches. So oh, here's some avocado. That would be nice, actually. And I just want to do this kind of rough, like I'm going to use this little ruler to just tear along the way, and then just snip where it got a little uneven there. And I love like the patina of cabbage dyed paper anyhow, and it will just be really nice with the gold. I hate to waste this beautiful not image paper, but that's okay. There's more where that came from. Okay, so then here's your backing for some good journaling space. Just give it a good press, make sure your glue's all down. And there we go. That is so fun. So yeah, you could do a lot more with it too. Like, you know, there's all sorts of different things you could add. You could add like, you know, maybe some like gold trim like this down the side if you wanted to, or you could add like a piece of fabric at the top to make it like a label. But there we go. How cute are those little flowers in there, right? They're so nice. So yeah, nice tag. Okay, let's keep going. We'll just make a few of these. Green. And another piece of plastic. I wish that I could get 2 pieces out of one of these, but I can't. Where's that little glue? There it is. Just checking to make sure there's no markings or anything on the front of the paper. Made a little error there. I went across. Oh no, I don't have acetate. I'm fine. Never mind. Don't do that if there's acetate. Let's put the lid on there. Okay. Just kind of looking to make sure that I've got the cleanest, not dented, most pristine part of the plastic. And then just lie it down. Okay. Then, I don't know if I want to do another one with a hole, or maybe actually what might be nice would be a book page. That would be nice. Book page. So now we just need to find a color that's going to stand out, or like a plant that will stand out on top of book page and go with everything here. There are some really delicate plants in here. They do hold up quite well though, most of them. Some of them will kind of fall apart a little bit. This is kind of cool. It's like pampas grass that's been dyed, but it's kind of light. I think the yellow, the darker yellow might look nice. Nice and earthy. And then there's like these little kind of buttercuppy looking flowers. I don't know how they would hold, how they would stand up on there though. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see them. Yeah, but I'm not going to use all of them because it's a little bulky. So we'll just put that down. Then we'll pull off maybe 2 of them. They have these really nice fine veins that you can see in the leaves. So I'm just going to press this open and just lie it down. Just like that. And I'll snip this stem a little. Not a lot though, because we do need a little bit to still hold it down. There. Okay. Then, just double check. Yeah, that's how we want things to be. And then the handy dandy duct tape. Now, because the little yellow flowers aren't going to be taped down, you can put a little bit of glue on the back, or, you know, they're probably going to get trapped in there. Like I said, you're going to stitch around or glue around the outside, so they're not really going to be able to go very far. But I'm just going to put a little bit of glue so that they kind of stay where I intend. Oops. There we go. trim this, get the tape out of here, move this to the side for a minute, trim off this extra plastic. Okay. Glue stick. That's just to make sure it stays like tacky, and we can lay it down on here and it's going to stay put. A good time to check your plastic for any things that are trapped on the back side before you lay it down. Right there, make sure you're covering up your duct tape. You don't want that to be showing. Okay. Trim off the extra book page. Okay. So now you can stitch that now, because you could attach your backing now too, but there's not much point because I want to hide my stitches that I do around the circle. The other option is you can stitch around the circle first, then put your backing on, and then you'll have your stitches that are around the edge visible on both sides of the journal card if you prefer that. Let's move that out of here and grab the sewing machine again. Okay, first the edges. Okay, and there we go. You can see it's stitched around the edge. I know we've got the sewing machine up close because I brought you zoomed in a little bit, but that's okay. I'll be done. I'm just going to do this circle really quick. But again, not so quick that things get out of control, because it can be a little bit tricky going in a circle, trying to keep your spacing as even as possible around the edge, like between your stitches and the edge of the green cardstock. So it is a little bit fiddly, but it's actually also kind of relaxing to just, it's almost like slow stitching with your sewing machine. And you know, you could honestly crazy stitch all over the top of the front of the card too. That might be kind of cool. Or use like a decorative stitch. away again, and then just do some final little snipping of threads. Okay, so there we go. Now I will find something for the front of this. And where is my board? Here. That settles the glare a little bit when I use this. I promise I will get my lighting set up a little better soon. Life is busy, my friends. I'm also thinking about like what it would be like to have like a nice like bird collage down here. You can definitely do like some collaging. We could add a postage stamp. For some reason, I feel like you either need like maybe a little phrase or something like out of a book, or you need a label. There. I don't know if I have anything about plants. That would be kind of cool if I did that, like a little phrase about plants. I have some of these little loose book page phrases. Taking care to place seeds. Gnome houses and underground passages. Amethyst. Lighted by candles. Gold, silver, copper, and iron. Plant flaxseed in a secret garden. Taking care to plant seeds could be kind of cool. Let's see what else I have. I might regret doing this because strawberries in the snow. I just cut these out of like books. Peace and happiness across the wide ocean. Into my garden. Yeah, into my garden and taking care to plant seeds. I think I'll use those because right now I am making the poison garden journals. So that would be good. Come here, little one. Yeah, and I'll take a break from the labels for now. I have to make more of those labels because I'm almost completely out of them. There we go. Okay, so let's sort this out. What's this one? Constant traffic of bees. Well, we can't lose that. We'll put that back over here. There we go. Now I need my ink, my Distress Oxide, and I will just kind of ink around the bird collage so we don't have those white paper core edges that are a little bit not what I want. Okay. I keep trying not to drop my scissors. I feel like I should sew like a scissor mat, but then I know me, I wouldn't keep putting them on it. I just am trying to be cognizant of not slamming my scissors down. Okay, and I'm going to let this override on top of the circle of acetate a little bit. And then we'll put some glue on this vintage stamp. This stamp is from, I guess, Poland. It says Polska. Polka. Just pop you right there. Then into my garden. You could put this up, you know, at the top or over here, or, you know, figure it out. I'm going to put it down here, though, into my garden. Taking care to plant seeds. And then I'm just going to throw a little bit of ink on top of these just so it kind of all goes together. Okay. Then all we have to do is back this one. And I have no idea how much time I have taken to do these because I paused the video for a bit. So it'll be broken up into a couple videos that I have to put together. Just trying to find something that I want to back with. Like a vintage, yeah, like a nice brownie antique paper. That's nice. One of my 100-year-old books or something. Okay, so we'll just glue, glue, glue with glue stick. That's all you need. little trim around the edges. Just a little tiny bit of book page peeking out there. Oops. Sorry about that. I have all these things that are attached to magnets that are on my bar where I keep my camera tripod. All right, so then you could stitch around again if you wanted to have the stitches show on the back if you wanted. And it would just kind of double up your front stitching, but I'm not going to. I don't really feel like it's necessary. Actually, it's kind of cool how when you ink on the back of this, you're going to pick up the impression of definitely the circle and also the flowers. That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about that until now. But look, it's almost like a gravestone rubbing, like you're getting the actual flowers on the back. That's great. Oh, and see, because I, got a little bit smushy with them, I love this. Some of these little yellow flowers have fallen off. So it's kind of like a shaker card, except they're not really going to go far because you have, pretty much, you've stitched around. So it's a pretty tight quarters in there. But I like that, now some of them have kind of fallen off and they've moved around a little bit. That's really cool. So yeah. Okay, so that is that one done. Where did I put the other one? Let me see. There's this one. And I don't know what I did with the other one. Okay, that's okay. We've lost the prototype. But anyhow, here are the two that we made. So 2 different kind of methods, styles, and yeah, I really like these. I think they're going to be really fun in my journals. So they will go in the Poison Garden journals for sure. Yeah, so experiment with this technique. You'll probably find it quite fun. Okay, guys, it is probably time for me to think about bedtime because it's getting a little late. So thank you for joining me, and I will probably be back tomorrow with some kind of a video. And until then, have a great night. Bye.